Parker, watch out. Okay. Watch. Parker. Parker.
I'll do the flowers.
Yeah. Good job.
All right, let's go.
Everyone, please rise. All right, everyone, please take a seat, get comfy. The bride and groom also kindly ask that all phones are silent, so please put those away or be really sneaky about it. All right, welcome, family and friends, to the wedding ceremony and celebration of John and Teresa. We're so excited and really grateful to have you all here today. I'm Caroline, your officiant and proud older sister of the groom. I've had a front row seat to John's story since day one, and it's such an honor to stand here and help kick off this beautiful ceremony. What's really special about moments like this is how many different people come together, family, friends, from near, from far. All of you have played such an important part in shaping John and Teresa quite a way, and I know it means the world for them for you to be here today. Each of you holds a special place in their hearts, and truly, without all of you, today wouldn't be possible. So thank you for being a part of their journey. John, Teresa, take a moment, turn around, and look at everyone. Soak it all in. You're surrounded by so much love. I also want to acknowledge some very important people who helped shape John and Teresa into who they are today. Teresa's amazing parents, Brian and Bernadette, and to our wonderful parents, Young and Hewan. Thanks for all your love, guidance, and support you've given over the years. The people they've become and the strong relationship that we're celebrating today simply wouldn't be possible without the four of you. And while today is about joy and celebration, we also want to remember loved ones who can't be with us today, whether because they've passed or simply because they aren't unable to make it. Their presence is deeply felt. Halmoni, Harabaji, Kanimobu, Hawaii Komo, Kanapa, Teresa's grandmother, Mary Ellen Orr, and her grandfather, Jerry Orr. And before we dive into the really fun part of the evening, And I get like a second. I would like to take a moment to introduce someone really special. Please join me in welcoming Pat, Teresa's older brother.
Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Thank you all for coming, and thank you, Caroline, for that introduction. Like Caroline said, unfortunately, this is not the really fun part of the evening. This is the very serious part. This is words of wisdom. Very serious. Today, we're here celebrating the marriage between two very serious people. My sister, Big T, and her soon-to-be husband, Little John. Anyone excited, please give me a yeah! Okay.
Yeah.
As you can tell from that pop culture reference from 2005, I am Teresa and Eileen's older brother. One of the challenges in my relationship has actually been that I'm over 8.5 years older than Teresa. So that age gap was something that we had to kind of figure out. That means that when I had my learner's permit and could drive my car, I could drive Teresa to her Waldorf school, and she'd be in the back seat talking about fairies and maypoles and other things. So we weren't exactly on the same page to start. But that didn't stop Teresa. She was persistent, and she always wanted to be involved in what I was doing. And I didn't always make that easy. I wasn't the type of brother who would play school or dress up with her. But she stuck with it, and eventually I started letting her in. She started to star in my videos that I made with my friends. Basically, my entire class crashed your 11th birthday party. And basically, my friends figured out that Teresa was cool before I figured it out. I would have friends over, and we'd be waiting and waiting for the girls to get there in the basement, waiting for them. And we'd come upstairs, and we'd find them happily eating goldfish, watching America's Next Top Model with Teresa upstairs. So as we grew up and that gap got smaller, I started to really appreciate who Teresa is. Teresa's really happy and wants to share that happiness with other people. She's not afraid to be herself. She's stayed true to loving music, loving art, and the things that make her different all throughout her life. She's always down to try new things and have new adventures. And soon I found that I was inviting her to things like Boston Calling, New Year's parties, or really appreciating when she would bring me to meet her friends. Now, why did John and Teresa ask me to come up here and speak and share? Why did they call this words of wisdom? I'm sure some of you are asking that already. Probably because, as my sisters know, I don't always give brotherly advice. But when I do, it's very memorable and very wise. And the time I'm referencing is one famous time. I was out of college, having friends over, having a party, and Teresa and Eileen came home. And I might have had a few too many Bud Lights. And I decided this is the moment to sit them down, literally on my lap, and give them the big brother talk about boys and drinking and college and all those sorts of things. And I think that we can all agree that it was this foundational, inspirational moment that led you on a path to meeting such great guys. So Freddie, John, you're welcome. And all of you, really, you're welcome for bringing you all here today. Honestly, John is really a great guy and a great fit for Teresa. He's kind, he's fun, he's reliable, he sings, he loves board games, he loves adventures like their annual Chop Challenge. He goes out of his way to connect with people and make sure that they know he cares about them. He's a great partner and a great addition to our family. Beyond that, John and Teresa really work as a couple because they balance each other out. Teresa's more spontaneous and go with the flow, and John is literally a professional project manager. Teresa can get overwhelmed, she can get stressed, and John helps ground her. John gets caught up in the day-to-day and in his own head, and Teresa reminds him to appreciate the moments. Teresa is always late for everything, and now John is also always late for everything. It's not a perfect system. A lot's changed over the years, and I now have a beautiful wife, Emma, and 2 children, Emilio and Sienna, who you saw in their cuteness and chaos a moment ago. And actually, my son is now a student at the very Waldorf school that I used to make fun of Teresa for. We've both grown a lot, and I think I've learned some things, and maybe I have a little real advice to offer now. So if everyone could reach under your seats and grab the Bud Light that I stashed there for this moment. I'm kidding, but if you're all really that excited about warm Bud Light, tonight's going to be a lot of fun. Teresa and John, I think one thing I've learned from my relationship with you, my relationship with my wife, with my new experience as a father, is to always be willing to have your perceptions challenged and be willing to work on yourself. Everyone says it, but life won't always be as easy and simple as this day to day. It's a lot of times life is going to be a lot like this week that you've had leading up to today. And you may think you know yourself or you know your partner and you know how you'll handle things alone or together, but you'll both change and be challenged in ways that you can't expect. And that's actually okay. The best part of marriage isn't having it perfect to start, it's growing together for years and years to come. So Big T, and after today, I'm proud to call you Big John. Congratulations. I love you both, and I'm so happy for you. Teresa, I'm looking forward to many more years of thinking the other one is the cooler sibling.
Oh, thanks. Love you.
Love you too.
Thank you.
All right, you guys do it. Ready? All right. I've also got a few words I'd like to share. As John's older sister, I've had the privilege of watching his life unfold from the very beginning. Even though we haven't lived in the same state for most of our adult lives, we've always found ways to stay close through holidays, birthdays, and summer visits. Those trips were our time to catch up on all the big stuff, new jobs, big ideas, future plans. And once John hit his social limit, as he often does, he'd quietly retreat to his room and dig out his childhood Game Boy and recharge. He still looks for it sometimes, by the way. One thing our family did notice over the years is that John tends to save the big news for in-person hangouts. So when I got a phone call from him in the summer of 2021, completely out of the blue, I knew something was up. He told me he had met someone online in the middle of a pandemic, and he just had a really good feeling about it. And outside in the cold, basically the least romantic setup imaginable. But somehow it worked. They shared what ended up being a frozen cheese plate, walked, talked, shivered, and defied hypothermia and first date awkwardness. And somehow something just clicked. And since then, I've had the joy of watching Teresa become part of our lives. From the beginning, I just felt lucky knowing that someone like her exists. Teresa, your thoughtfulness, your humor, and your ability to be fully present, it's a real gift. When you're with someone, they feel very seen. And I've watched you give that kind of love not just to John, but to your own family and now to ours. We love your enthusiasm for your side quests, like making the most thoughtful handmade gifts and learning Korean on Duolingo. It's a glimpse into not only how deeply you care, but also how much joy and fun you bring along the way. A little favorite story of mine. Last Mother's Day, John and Teresa came to visit me, my husband, and our daughter in Durham, North Carolina. We all went strawberry picking together. My husband returned with picture-perfect Costco-sized bucket of strawberries. Teresa came back with a bucket full of bruised, sad, lumpy strawberries who'd been through something. And when I asked her why, she said they deserved to be picked too. I mean, come on, that's either the sweetest thing ever or a Pixar short waiting to happen. The point is, your tenderness, your sense of humor, and the way of seeing beauty in what others might overlook, it's just so you. John, I've had a front row seat to the person you've become. From the kid who was both the class clown and class president, to the college freshman with a cappella fame whose rendition of Teenage Dream has, I checked, 35 million listens, at least 10 million of which are probably me, to the grandson who lights up Hadabaji's world with every visit to New Jersey, and to the loving, playful uncle you've become to Emilio, Parker, and Sienna. And now I get the most incredible front row seat of all, officiating as you and Teresa take this next step surrounded by your closest people. Oh, I'm doing pretty good. Okay, thanks. Okay. John, you love deeply and show up fiercely for those you care about. Teresa, you bring empathy, creativity, and a grounded presence that makes people feel instantly at home. And what the two of you have already built together is extraordinary, and that brings us to the heart of what marriage truly is. Marriage is often thought of as the joining of two people, but it's really so much more than that. It's the weaving of two lives, two families, two sets of traditions, dreams, and inside jokes. And at the center of it all, it's at its very best, a deep friendship that no matter what comes your way, new jobs, unexpected losses, joyful surprises, quiet seasons, you have someone in your corner. Someone who sees you and who really sees you and chooses you again and again. Marriage means showing up, not just for the big moments, but for the messy, ordinary ones. It means growing and changing together. It means building a home, not just of walls and furniture, but with trust, compassion, curiosity, and a really good playlist. Can I have your handkerchief, John? Yeah. Okay, thanks. It's where it's safe to be fully yourself, where silence feels comfortable, and where laughter, especially both of yours, carries the day. The following 2 pieces of advice from my father-in-law is something my husband and I have taken to heart early in our marriage and what I wanted to share with you today. First, you might think the key to marriage is finding someone who will love and trust you unconditionally. And while that's the first step, it's only part of the equation. The real key is never taking that for granted. Nourish that love and trust every day. The moment you start assuming it's a given, cracks will form. It's easy to take for granted how wonderful it is when your spouse loves you unconditionally, but everyone is human, and over time, if you take it for granted, your spouse will feel it too, and the love will fade. And so, when things feel distant, as they sometimes may in any long journey together, don't place blame or turn away. Instead, turn inward and ask yourselves, how can I be more loving, more trusting, more present right now? When you show up with love and trust, you create a bond that draws you closer. And second, compliments are essential, but they need to be real. Don't offer empty praise. Find the truth in what you appreciate. And if you can't think of anything, think harder. Make it a habit to actively notice and appreciate little things your spouse does every day. And yes, you'll both fail sometimes, but when that happens, remember that sincere understanding, a genuine apology, and forgiveness will always get you back on track. John and Teresa, you've chosen each other just as you are, and today you stand before your loved ones to celebrate the relationship you've built on mutual trust, deep respect, and a love that honors each other's full complexity. I know that both of you took time to prepare your own vows, so would like to go first.
Do you want me to go?
I don't know who wants to go first.
You.
I'll go first.
Yes.
Turn it.
Do you want to hold it?
I don't want to hold it, maybe just
Turn it.
Can you guys hear me okay if I talk loud? No.
I don't
just
want
turn.
this to get in your way.
It's okay.
How about now? Can you guys hear me? Yeah. Okay. John, I have to start by saying something I don't say too often. You were right. A couple years ago, on an otherwise uneventful car ride, you turned to me suddenly and said, "I'm gonna marry you someday." Yeah. One moment, we were bantering back and forth about cheese boards online and meeting with masks on. And now here we are on our wedding day, and there's no one else I would rather be with. So I will say something I say a lot more often: thank you for predicting this day back then and for standing here with me today, making that dream of ours come true. I love how you are silly and serious, focused and fun. You can go from a buttoned-up, stylish businessman to an outdoorsy hippie playing guitar around a campfire. You run marathons, but love slow Sundays in sweatpants. You take me as I am and gently help me grow. Your optimism, confidence, and decisiveness has helped me become more self-assured and slightly more decisive and slightly more organized. You make me cooler, and I make you weirder, and we meet somewhere in the middle. Just the thought of you brings a smile to my face. You have made me fall in love with you over and over again. When we first moved in together, it seemed like a magical apartment because every morning, without fail, I find my milk frother cleaned and ready for my crucial morning espresso. Despite notoriously enjoying an early bedtime, you stayed up all night, with me in solidarity as I rushed to submit my final grad school paper. On our 3 a.m. trek through the streets of Cabo after Pat and Emma's wedding, you held up my long dress the whole way and even gave me a foot massage when we got there. And when I brought tuna, but forgot the can opener for our Grand Canyon hike, you pried, or more so stabbed it open with a marshmallow stick because you knew I had my heart set on it. And you do have to admit it was the best tuna sandwich ever. Sometimes I'll share something about myself that feels like some sort of revelation to me, and no matter what, your response is always, I know. From the beginning, I knew you would always hold my happiness at your center, and I promise to do the same for you every day of our lives. The way you show up for me and for everyone around you is a core part of who you are. I'm sure nearly everyone here today can point to a story where you put yourself aside to show up for them. You'll work late to ease the burden for your team. You prioritize friend dinners and ski trips even when you're busy. You do it quietly, saying, it's important, so I just figure it out. But not everyone does it like you. Obviously, I am the lucky recipient of this most of all, but the family and friends we have surrounding us here today are a testament to who you are. I am so excited and privileged to get to witness you shine through whatever life will bring. And in turn, I get to be influenced by someone so thoughtful, dedicated, loving, silly, and just genuinely good. The life we have built together has made marrying you such a clear choice. And you know, everyone knows, I can't even decide on a gum flavor without a long deliberation. I marry you today for all of it. For our post-work gossip, late-night snacks, game nights with sushi, and adventures outdoors. For our parallels and for our differences. For the way we communicate lovingly and patiently, even through difficulty. I marry you because being with you gives me a sense of home, of peace, belonging, and ease. I can't wait to continue doing life with you through all the seasons of our lives as we co-create our life and future together. So with that, I promise to hold your heart the way you've held mine, with patience, generosity, and compassion. I promise to listen to you attentively, to see the positive in your actions, and always work to understand your perspective. I promise to always find joy and adventure as teammates, to make you laugh when you're taking life a little too seriously, and to infuse a little more of your planning into my go with the flow, a planned flow, if you will. I promise to give your introvert self space to decompress after socializing, as long as you leave time for a good debrief later on. I promise to keep travel, music, food, and games at the center of our story, and to never again take us on a bike tour in a new city without food first and a clear map. And lastly, I promise to always practice love as a verb, creating we are right for each other, not just letting it happen. I promise to find new reasons to love you every day. I choose you today, and I will keep choosing you again and again, trusting that with these promises, the rest of our lives will fall into place. I love you. Good luck.
Can everyone hear me? Okay. Off to a great start. Okay. Teresa, you and I have spoken before that amidst all of the different moments in our lives, that while the details may fade, it's the feelings those moments create that'll last forever. And how convenient is that for you and me, given our questionable ability to recall certain pieces of information? But I think back to when we first met, me having moved back to Boston only 3 weeks prior. And what comes to me isn't what you and I were wearing, nor is it what temperature the air was that night, even though our fingers were going numb. No. When I think of that night, I think of how excited I was on my walk back, after walking you to your car and saying goodnight. There was a bounce.
Yeah.
There was a bounce in my step, and I'm pretty sure that walk could have been an hour long, and I wouldn't have minded one bit, as long as that feeling lasted. And that was the start of this journey that we've been on. The start. You know, usually they say that it's on your wedding day, that is the start of your new life. At this rate, it's gonna be 10 minutes long. No.
Wiggle it up.
You know, usually they say that it's on your wedding day, that is the start of your new life. But I've never agreed with that, because since our first date, I already belong to you.
You can do it.
I know.
You can do it.
At that time, my ties to Boston were temporary, but you made them permanent. This journey that we're on, it's already challenged us so much as a couple. Not only to work through our hardships, but to especially become stronger in our communication, our commitment, and our love to one another. It's been the biggest growth that I've ever had for myself by far, yet I've never felt more sure of anything. As objective as I tend to be, I stand here with full acknowledgement in how my heart is only drawn to yours. You are the most extraordinary. You are the most extraordinary, complex, intelligent, yet whimsical, and caring human being I know. Teresa, I love you. I love your freckles. I love how you cry when you laugh. Oh my gosh. I know. It was supposed to rain today, and really, it's raining here. Ugh.
You said it.
No. I love how your fingers interlock mine when we hold hands, and how I know to only say bless you after you sneeze twice. I love your shoulder kisses when we're driving in the car, and how no one can harmonize better than we can. There's no debate. I love your family, and how much you love mine. You showed up to Thanksgiving that first year with your pretzel Linzers. Everyone fell in love with both you and the cookies. It was like you'd always been there. But beyond it all, what I love most about you is your kind heart. You give off the most golden retriever energy of anyone I've ever known, and it shows in your constant selflessness and compassion. When people think of you, they often focus on your joyous and unrelenting smile, your love of laughter and ability to always go with the flow. That side of you is such a massive aspect of who you are, but what I also know, and have been able to get a glimpse of, is that while all of those characteristics are intrinsically you, it still comes with a conscious and intentional decision that you take on each and every day to embody a life full of joy and happiness. It's one that you actively seek out for yourself and permeates through to every aspect of your life. And in the most incredible turn of events, you chose me to be a big part of that joy for you. And that is something that I'm the luckiest guy in the world for. Because I would choose you over everything. And in that choice comes with it a never-ending pursuit to be the best version of myself that I can be, with an unconditional and wholehearted love. Someone who you can always come back to with no judgment, no conditions, but instead 2 arms of support, and of course, snacks. So with this pursuit of mine, I promise to always be by your side in this crazy world we live in. I promise to always appreciate you and never let a day go by where I lose sight of how lucky I am that we have each other. I promise to be the first to listen to your groundbreaking product ideas, and the last to wish you a good night. I promise to be the one who always fills your water bottle before bed, the one to comment on how beautiful the day is whenever we take our morning walks, and the one to never throw out receipts before checking with you. I promise to make sure that I'm not just hungry whenever I get quiet or upset. I promise to love and support the strong, independent woman that you are today, joining the badass collection of Quan and Or women that have come before us. I promise to join your laughter with my own, and in those moments when the joy is hard to find, to be right by your side in the dark. There isn't a challenge we haven't had to face together, and I promise that will never change. And lastly, in those moments where our differences are highlighted, I promise to remind myself how similar we are in all of the other ways and why we are perfect for each other. Because when I look at you, I see 2 footprints in the Gloucester sand. I see your grandparents who have been together for 70 years, and I see children that have your smile. And I will spend my life bettering myself to be the man that you deserve. I'm yours.
Oh. That's nice.
Good job.
Oh my God.
All right, we're getting to the serious part now. I'm going to say a few statements, and after each one, just respond with I do. John, do you take Teresa to be your wife, your best friend, your equal partner, and your lifelong companion in all the adventures life has in store?
I do.
Say it louder.
I do.
Teresa, do you take John to be your husband, your best friend, your equal partner, and your lifelong companion in all the adventures life has to store?
I do.
For both of you, do you promise to face life's challenges and joys as a team while honoring your individuality, supporting and uplifting each other, and always growing side by side?
We do.
Do you promise to nurture your relationship by communicating honestly, listening openly, laughing freely, crying when needed, forgiving easily, and celebrating often?
We do.
Pat, would you please bring up the rings? John and Teresa, okay, you have each other's hands. Look at the hands you're holding. These are the hands of your closest friend and lifelong partner, the hands that will build your future with you, comfort and support you in hard times, and give you strength when life gets tough. They'll pick you up when you're down and twirl you around the kitchen just because. They're the hands you'll hold while doing nothing on the couch and while chasing life's biggest adventures. They'll raise a glass in celebration, offer a squeeze in hard moments, and grow old right alongside yours. These are the hands you'll hold, help, and cherish always. Across cultures and throughout time, rings have been a symbol of lasting commitment, a circle with no end, representing the life you are building together. And today, your rings become a daily reminder of the love you've chosen, the promise you're making, which will last for the days of your lives. All right, Teresa, if you can take John's ring. Okay.
This hand?
Yeah, that hand. Okay. Teresa, please repeat after me. John, I give you this ring
John, I give you this ring
as a sign of my love and commitment,
as a sign of my love and commitment,
and my promise to learn and grow with you.
and my promise to learn and grow with you,
I acknowledge your strengths,
acknowledging your strengths,
accept your faults,
accept your faults,
as you do mine.
as you do mine.
With this ring,
With this ring,
I take all of you
I take all of you
to share all of me
to share all of me
all my life.
all my life.
You are my favorite person today and always.
You are my favorite person today and always.
Here you go, John. John, repeat after me. Teresa, I give you this ring
Teresa, I give you this ring
as a sign of my love and commitment,
as a sign of my love and commitment,
and my promise to learn and grow with you.
and my promise to learn and grow with you.
I acknowledge your strengths,
I acknowledge your strengths,
accept your faults,
accept your faults,
as you do mine.
as you do mine.
With this ring,
With this ring,
I take all of you
I take all of you
to share all of me
to share all of me
all my life.
all my life.
You are my favorite person today and always.
You're my favorite person today and always.
1 second. All right, John and Teresa, you've made it official, so go ahead and seal it with a kiss. Woo!